Hello and welcome to this MediaManager.net presentation. We're going to try to make this as quick as possible. This is meant to be a very short presentation and it has a very targeted purpose. So there is a lot we can do with MediaManager.net. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at the Salesforce version, but you don't need the Salesforce version to do exactly what I'm going to show you. The goal here is I want to show sales enablement managers, sales trainers, sales professionals, as well as marketing professionals, commercial, anybody who does those types of things, a way to create a training program using only the materials that makes it possible to solve a very common problem that you're going to find. And that problem is, if you've ever gone and developed some training and you go out, maybe do a roadshow, or you go and just go around, do that training, you give it virtually, for, let's say, new technology or for a process improvement or something like that. You give that training, maybe give it to a number of people, and then the process is released and rolled out, or the technology is rolled out, and immediately after that, you find that you get a lot of people contacting, say, support, or contacting you as an SEM immediately after the training, and a lot of those questions were answered in the training themselves. I think this happens pretty often. I worked on a project that didn't have Media Manager on it, but it was for 20,000 users. It was technology that was rolled out globally, and the day after it was rolled out, even after there were months and months of training and preparation, change management, they had thousands of tickets, and pretty much all of them were answered in the training. So one of the things we want to be able to do is control for that. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And what we're going to do is it's going to take less than 5 minutes. You're going to do virtually no setup other than just a couple quick actions. You're going to watch me do those. And I'm going to do all this in real time. So one of the things after you do this, people very frequently ask me, like, there's no way that everything you're showing me is all been set up just by what you did. Because it's going to take me about a minute to do what I'm going to do. And I have had some different ways to prove it. So I used to just point at the clock down here, but the problem is that clock doesn't show seconds, so it's very easy for me to cut if I wanted. I used to put a little timer there, but that didn't work either. So I have a pretty good way of showing that maintaining that continuity. So I'm going to play a song by Adele because you can't really cut a song without people knowing. And this is also a perfect length song. So Adele, in her song Someone Like You, I'm going to do this, I'll get about 5 minutes. We're going to do everything I just said in under 5 minutes. And let's get started. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to talk over a little bit and then watch what we do. Everything I just talked about, we're going to accomplish very quickly. This is a pretty new Media Manager, so let's give this presentation a name. So this is a presentation on building effective presentations. This is for analytics and those types of uses. I'm just going to put a 1 here. I'll explain why later. Here's our material. Just a single PowerPoint. I think it's about 20 to 25 slides. You could add images, HTML5, video, PDFs, PowerPoints. You could put quizzes and all kinds of stuff with that HTML5, but we're just going to do a very simple PowerPoint split into images. And here we go. That's it. That is starting the presentation. We can keep an eye on that over here. Now I'm going to create a group. I think I already have one, but here's a group, but I'm going to show you how it's done. We're going to use this for automation. I'm going to add this user to the group. It's me. And then we're going to create a new course. A course is just a collection of content with a lot of interesting capabilities. This assigns everybody who's in this group into the course, or adds them, and I'm going to assign it. But I'm not going to reassign it. Reassigning would automatically, if I update any content, if I make changes to the course, it automatically notifies people that there has been a change to that media, and you'll see how that works here shortly. I don't want to do it now because it complicates what I'm going to show you, and it's not really necessary for this use case. but it is a powerful tool. I'm pretty much done. We're 90% here, and we are now 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. And we're just going to sit here and wait. Probably take another minute, and then you will see what we've done, which is going to be pretty fantastic. You'll be surprised. That you be reminded that for me it isn't over yet. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you. See where we're at. Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah, nothing compares, no worries or cares, regrets and mistakes that memories made. Who would have known how bittersweet? Okay, our presentation is complete. Never mind, I'll find notification here. And thank you to our lovely assistant. We are done 1 minute and 30 seconds early, 4 minutes 20 seconds, but we started at about 30 or 40 seconds. So we did this in under 4 minutes. And I want to show you exactly what we've done. So there's a lot of things we're going to look at. There's a tremendous amount of stuff. So first off, when we created that group, you can integrate this into Okta. You can integrate it into all kinds of different user management systems. So I could add all my users automatically. There's a lot of other tools that have been generated here for sharing. There are forms that have been created. There's all kinds of ways to send people sharing links. All of those can get people in here, but it all basically gets automated to where they get added to the portal itself. And then when they're added to the portal, they're automatically added into the Salesforce side as well, and they become Media Manager users. So there is a Media Manager user here, and all of that data that is entered is automatically created, so we can save a lot of data entry time if you use this for content marketing, things like that. It also, on the back end, created this record waiting for the course to be complete. It also created an entire model of the presentation and any media that's been added. So this is that presentation there. This is an old one that I deleted, and you can see deleted ones become inactive. So I always know what's available, what isn't available. And it also broke it all down. So there's my Media Manager user. If I go in there, this is the data that I've saved for that user. But look at this interaction activity completion. So remember, I said the goal here is that we want to give a training program, and we want to be able to motivate and practically guarantee that people will go to the materials before they go to you. Well, the only way to really do that is to let them know that we know if you haven't done it. So they're given that direction, and we know that if you come to us and you never looked at the materials, we know exactly what you're looking at, what you aren't. And that's how we know, because when this took that piece of media and it broke it apart, it created thumbnails for every slide. These are all my thumbnails. It highlights this red because it's assigned, and I can go and update the description. This is all searchable, like this is incorrect. It'll automatically update this in the model that's created in Salesforce, so that all these, the presentation name, all the slide names, all that will get updated. When I select into the presentation itself, this is every slide in that presentation. So it generated all your thumbnails, it created all these tools, and all of these tools for sharing. Every slide has a forum. So if you show this to that team that you're giving this to, and you say, before you contact us after this rolls out, go into your training materials, look for your training, and then if you want to contact us, find something relative to that, and then just contact us through the individual parking lots for every piece of media or for the presentation itself. This will automatically route to me since I created it, but I can also edit this to send these messages to any individual on a slide-by-slide basis or a presentation basis. So I've basically created around all the media that I add, which I could have dropped all kinds of stuff in here. I've created this very large collection of channels that are specific to both the presentation and everything else. And everybody can now see, these are the users, they can now see exactly what they've looked at and what they haven't. So I'm going to change some names so you can see this too. So this is the title. This will start to update across the entire system. So if I highlight this and then I refresh, you'll see it over here in the presentation panel. There's the title. See it here and here, but you'll also see it back here. So there, see how those two changed? In these records, so what these are doing is they're going to wait for them to view, and I'm going to go view a few, and it's going to check these whenever they view them. And then it creates additional records to start tracking as well. All media means that they accessed it either through a search or through slides. This means they're in the presentation and they're looking at it. So it's kind of like how Google can show you the progression in the path. All of this information is user-based. So you plug this into AI, machine learning, you plug it into analytics, and you can essentially build a complete step-by-step pattern recognition tool or all kinds of analytics to show exactly how people get from A to B in terms of learning, sales, marketing, whatever it is. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna select a few of these, and you're come back and you're going to see as they check in real time, because it's communicating back to Salesforce, and they could access this outside of Salesforce as well through a portal, and it would do the same thing. So this is going to be 3 slides here. And there you go. Those are the 3 slides. I accessed it through the presentation. There's 1-3. Let's go ahead and change that name. Notice how as I look at them, they're starting to close off here. Once I view everything, it'll automatically check this. And then we use that as a trigger for all kinds of other tools in Salesforce. So generate certification documents, set up some kind of workflow so that we know when this certification is done. We add to analytics. We say, how many people have completed a course. And then we also have some built-in dashboards and built-in analytics as well. So there's a whole there's the general dashboard here, and there's also the one here. This opens up in the portal, so you can see this is what it would look like as a portal. So I can start to see how many people have engaged, different slides, the presentations, who's looking at them, who's online, how many views versus how many slides in the entire portal. Here are the assignments currently out there, so you can see I'm assigned presentation effective course. I've looked at 3 of my 21 slides. I've got 18 remaining. I can see if I had 100 users on one course, I could see them all here, and I could see who's done, who isn't. Here's what people are looking at the most in terms of slides and presentations. And then on a user by user basis, I can start to look at this and see, okay, so this person contacted us with a ticket, and I can see, okay, these are the ones they looked at, but they didn't look at all these other ones. They haven't completed their course yet. I can see if they're looking at certain slides very frequently, and since we have the ability to maintain roles, we can start to use that for analytics on roles and groups versus views. So you can start to see who's looking at what, maybe fine tune and develop your course based upon that data. All of this is right here. All of this is here for you. So next, I want to finish this course out, and I want to show you how this is going to trigger. I have gone way down that rabbit hole, so give me a second. It's going to trigger this record here, and we're going to check that record automatically. There's a lot of ways to look at this, obviously. Just so you can get a look at this is a virtual parking lot. So you want to add new question, you can add new question there. There's different groupings and categories. So let's go ahead and just look at this. And I'm gonna walk through this presentation. And again, here's another place where I can enter my virtual parking lot questions. There's one for each slide. Let's go and look at, I'll open another one here. And this will all turn, this red will go away once I've viewed everything. So this makes it very easy for users to see if there's something they haven't viewed. And if you use that reassign tool that I showed in courses, showing you in courses earlier, if you make a change to a slide, it'll just make that highlighted red, and then they know, and they get a message, okay, go in and take a look at this. If you add some additional slides, they know. That's good for projects. So if you want to have like a dashboard for a project, week 1, you assign it, and then week 2, you just upload it, and then go into add it to the courses, and then all the people in that course can now see it, and they know that, hey, there's something I haven't looked at. There's a dashboard to look at, and you can just keep adding them week after week, and you have a very easy to use tool for that. Once this course is complete, this is always going to stick if it's assigned, so it's always going to be up top here. But once it's complete, I can remove it, I can move it, I can order them. All that type of stuff is going to be available. So let's go, and I'm going to open up my dashboard here. We're just going to chart that progress for this user here. So you can see all the views I have. I'm down to 6 completed, 15 remaining, when I'm looking at it, how I'm looking at it. And let's go ahead, and we're going to, sometimes it's not too good to go too fast. It does actually wait a little bit for you to know that somebody looked at something. And again, you can add HTML5, you can add all kinds of stuff if you want to put quizzes and things like that. So let's update this. So we should be down to just about our last one. Oh, shot me back to the beginning. There we go. 20 completed, 1 remaining. You can see the number of views. Done there. Notice how this changed. All my slides are changed there. They're changed in the table view. Here's all the different tools I have, all kinds of stuff I can do there. And now I can get rid of this, and it's gone, and I can organize other ones. It makes it very friendly to your users. So they like to come in here and they like to use it. And if they want to add it back, you just drag and drop it. There you go. And let's look at our interaction record. So this should be complete. And that trigger can do all kinds of interesting and neat things. And if you would like to, and if it gets reassigned, it'll just add another one, and it will trigger it again when it's done. So if you'd like to go and get in touch with us, you can find this at MediaManager.net. We also have another brand called Entatio.com, ENTATIO.com. Go ahead and get in touch with us. We can help you set it up. MediaManager.net's on the Salesforce App Exchange. A lot of great customers we have, a lot of people working with us, growing. And you can always reach out to us at support@entatio.com or support@mediamanager.net.com. Thank you very much. Have a good one. And thank you to Adele, my lovely assistant.